Hey guys, welcome to Preseason of the SAFF Podcast. Nice to have you guys back. How's everyone keeping?
So good to be back.
Yeah, I actually created my FPL account yesterday
My,
just
Mine
because
was
I knew it
last
was streaming.
week.
Like, yeah, so there was this whole thing going on. People are trying to get the earliest number of on the URL and stuff, and I was like, I have no interest in this because
But
all the content creators are trying to get the first accounts and stuff. I was like, I
but
had
now
no interest at
now
all.
there's actually an advantage to create your account early. I don't know if you read, it's part of the new rules. And we can start into our first segment, new rules and how it's going to
Mm?
affect the game. But a new rule is if your account was registered earlier and you're on equal points and I think its goal scored is equal as well, then it goes to the person who's had more uh who's registered earlier. So it's
That is
quite
ridiculous. That is
annoying.
absolutely
That's
ridiculous.
that's also why I registered my team. But Razine beat us all, so if we ever on equal
Did
points,
I?
Razine will.
Oh, that's great. Not like it's gonna happen. I mean, you guys are gonna beat me on
That's
point, but
terrible.
yeah, great.
I'm
That's
so
great
bleak
to
right
hear.
now,
And I
honestly.
don't even remember when, but I just auto picked that team, and I still don't know any prices. I don't know how anything is looking. I just know that I don't really like the new look website, and I hope
I
that they're still working on it a little bit.
I hate the new look website. Even the app is quite bad. I also like. I don't know if you guys had an issue with making your team badge with this AI.
I haven't tried. I
The
haven't
the
tried.
AI was so bad. Adobe Express was the
Mhm.
worst. I was just doing a normal logo and I just wanted them to write Looney Tunes on the top. And it couldn't
Wow.
spell Looney Tunes. So then I put LTFC. It couldn't spell. It couldn't spell LTFC. It couldn't write the letters L dot T
They
dot
must at
F dot
least
C.
use some AI that is knowledgeable, not some poor
It was
version
terrible.
of AI. And imagine they want to use AI to help us with our teams in this season also. That's what they said they're going to make available, right? So I don't look
Wow,
forward to that any longer after this
really.
badge business.
Yeah. But the
But I have
website.
officially changed my team name, guys.
Oh
Oh,
no.
wow.
Yeah, it's big. It's a very big moment for me actually because for the last 10 years I've had the same team name, Challenges FC. It always like I don't know for some reason it came from my cricket team that I support, Royal Challengers Bangalore, and I first started
And they
playing
finally won, so now you can.
FPL. I decided that I'll make it Challengers FC until they win. And now that Liverpool won the league and RCB won the IPL, I've changed my team name to Champions FC.
Ugh, I thought it was going to be something interesting, not something so boring.
From champions to challengers with the gold patch on my shirt. I cannot wait for my
Nice.
Liverpool shirt to arrive, guys. I love the new Adidas kits. And yeah, especially those long sleeve ones, seeing Salah
Yeah.
in there, it's going to be like prime Fernando Torres all over again. I'm actually starting to slowly get a little bit excited for the new season. It's taken long enough,
Hmm.
but I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's still all fresh with me as well. Preseason I've not been following, so we in this boat together where we're going to be learning about fantasy football from scratch again. But let's talk about the new rules because there's two big implications. There's two new big rules. There's no assistant manager, thank God. But there is chips wise. There's um, a double whammy. You get all your chips for the first half of the season and all
Hmm.
your chips for the second half of the season. And I think they did this because of AFCON being in the middle of the season. So what do you guys think of this? And does this change things now?
I think it does. So, I mean, for me, the biggest issue that I've actually had is with considering, I guess, some team playing. Because, second half of the season, it's all about strategy for when you're going to use your chips around the double game weeks and the likes. And the thing with now with these double chips, the first batch of them do expire halfway through the season. So if you don't use them, you're going to lose out on them. So how do you try and now take advantage of them early in the season? And then I guess a lot of the planning works around the wild card in the second half of the season anyway. So now trying to say, okay, how do I plan my chips the around the wild card in the first half of the season? So trying to use a chip, I guess, within the first five game weeks is something I'm considering from what I've already looked at the moment. I've looked at a few fixtures and the like. So I'm trying to see how I can use that and then wild card as early as possible for the rest of the first half of the season. Because I'm trying to separate it in blocks and it's making me think more than I want to at this time of the season.
So I'm on the same page, and
Yeah.
don't be surprised if I use three chips for the first three game weeks. I'm taking a note from that guy's team we looked at in last year where he bench boost first game week, then
What a
wildcarded
guy,
second
man.
game week because he knew what was happening. And I mean,
Mm,
like you can triple up on Spurs players first game week because they have an easy
yes.
fixture and they got not the best fixtures after that. So you can just wildcard and get rid of all of them.
Get all of them out, hundreds.
So I'm
This is a
considering that.
crazy rule, actually. Wow.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I didn't actually look at the rule properly, and there were a lot of fake rules. I didn't know what to believe and what not to. And I was so disconnected from the game completely that I said, you know what, we'll just see what happens when it comes back. And like we were talking about earlier, I just made my team and I auto picked the team and I said, whatever, we'll see. So the news you're telling me now about the new rules is pretty new to me. I mean, yeah, I did know that there's going to be 2 chips each, but it's quite exciting to think of the possibility of playing a chip in the first game week that we can actually consider that now.
Yeah. The major problem with doing it too early is the transfer market, because
Yes.
that's a crazy unknown. And I mean, it's still the speculation, the transfers that some of the clubs are being linked with will change the game. Like
And we also
if
don't know
it
who's
doesn't.
going to start first game week, and that's your
Yeah.
usual risk, right? And the other issue is now there's also to factor in the Club World Cup that just happened.
Yeah.
And a lot of the teams that played in there, their players went on extended holidays. So when those players are going to be returning, when will they be fit? It's quite a lot of things to consider. So, and I mean, if you look at the teams with decent fixtures, your Chelsea's, what's kind of Villa, I think are quite decent. Spurs have decent fixtures. Surprisingly, Sunderland also look like they have a decent early run in the season. Those are teams to effectively target. And the worrying with Chelsea is because they went to the final of the Club World Cup, they probably the riskiest in terms of rotation for their squad. But I mean, they did sign about 30 players this window again, didn't they? So,
Yeah.
I mean, there should be plenty to choose from.
And the spending hasn't stopped.
Never will. So there was a stat yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before that? Right? So it was a stat on Chelsea have signed their 48th player or something like that, I think, in the past 4 seasons. And they said they used Man United as the example. 48 players ago, Man United signed Andre Herrera in 2014. That's
Crazy.
mad.
Crazy.
That is
Yeah.
insane. It was something along those lines. But I was actually shocked because you don't necessarily see all the Chelsea spending because they signed so many youngsters
Yeah.
and they send them all to, was it Strasbourg or something on loan most of the time. So it's quite amazing.
They end up in Dortmund at some capacity and then come back and then get sold
Eventually,
to the rejects get sold to Saudi somewhere along the line.
pretty much. But I
Yeah.
mean, they're getting decent money for the
No,
players. I mean,
they're getting big
Nicholas
money.
Jackson is being quoted around as like 80 or 90 million at the moment, which is quite insane.
Yeah.
And I mean, they sold Keenan Dewsbury Hall
For
to
25.
Everton for like 25 million.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I mean, he
good.
hasn't played for them for
Yeah.
like 2 years.
Mm. So it's
So I mean, they sell very well.
they sell
It's
very well.
impressive,
Mm.
surprisingly.
Going to the second new rule, and arguably probably the most interesting one and most talked about one, is this defensive contributions. So now FPL they are assigning points for defensive contributions. I think for defenders, 10 defensive contributions. I think it's interceptions, blocks, and clearances. You'll get,
Yes.
if you get 10, you get 2 points. It's capped out at 2 points. So if you get 20, doesn't matter. For midfielders and forwards, they can also get these points, but they need to contribute to 12 defensive contributions to get these
Yes.
points. So it's quite interesting. I mean, potentially you
Makes
can get
cheap midfielders more attractive
cheap midfielders, but
to
also
actually pick as your fifth midfielder option now.
centre backs.
Before you'd look for some cheap attacker somewhere, it makes 100%, and they've balanced out the centre back because everyone effectively was just going for fullbacks in the previous couple of seasons. So making centre backs more valuable now because I mean there hasn't actually been centre backs, and last season I think to find a centre back that actually scored a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Because usually there'd always be 1 or 2 here and there that you keep in your team for the season, and you know they get a lot of goal contributions.
So it was only
But now
Gabriel.
this makes it interesting.
Gabriel was the only centre back.
Yeah. But also only for the first half of last season. He barely played the second half, I think, because he was on and off with injury. So it'll be nice to have centre backs in the team again. I look forward to it. James Tarkowski of Everton, bullet headers, worth celebrating.
I don't know if I can trust Everton defenseman. I'm keen on
cannot.
Virgil van Dijk. I think
I think Liverpool are worth it.
Yeah.
I think Forest again. I mean, under Nuno, you probably have to. And they've got a decent start this season. They'll be interesting to have. I think Spurs under Frank will be much better defensively. So I think they'll be worth considering as well. And the defenders are cheap, so it does make it a little bit easier to go that way. And then I think you're gonna go Chelsea. They've got the best start this season. So maybe like a Levi Colwill or whoever partners him. I think he'll be more nailed. So he's probably the best bet.
Yeah. And Razine, any your thoughts? Any players come to mind for you in these defensive?
Oh, I just can't stop thinking about Liverpool's centre back situation and how everyone is saying we need to sign one more centre back. I mean, yeah, sure, we might for squad depth and whatever, but the business we've done is just so incredible. And I haven't really watched much other teams. I watched Liverpool's entire preseason, and I saw Andy Robertson playing at centre back, and that's just been stuck in my head because I got a feeling that this might be a new role he could really adapt to on the left side of the centre back position, and because he might have lost a little bit of pace coming down the left hand side as a left back, but he's got that defensive ability and he can create and he can lead and all of that. And I was just so impressed by him. So I don't know if we're going to get Guehi or anyone like that at centre back. There were talks. But yeah, from a Liverpool point of view, I want to keep a close eye on Robertson this season. And if he gets a string of games there, in, let's say, for example, Konate misses out on a few games or something, then that's interesting. But I think Van Dijk is probably the obvious one as a centre back who's going to start week in, week out and get those defensive contributions. I mean, I'm very excited to see how that new rule plays out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I particularly think that Endo probably will be ahead of the pecking order than Robertson at centre back, especially if if McAllister and Gravenberch are both fit, they'll probably rotate that last um, like that sixth spot in the team. So I actually think Robertson might be a bit risky, just because of a more minutes risk. Because and Endo is obviously a midfielder, so it might be a difficult one. So that's why I would rather go safety. I think Van Dijk's still the best option comfortably because the other Konate injury prone, not
Still like
necessarily
Joe
injury prone, but
Gomez
he
as
does.
well.
I think he's there as well. So I mean, Konate does every now and then give you that scare with
yeah.
your
Yeah.
with a little bit of a limp here and there, and then he goes off, and the next game he's there again. So I think Liverpool, I mean, they're probably going to be strong again this season. Great business. So
I think
I think fullback might be interesting,
yeah.
depending on Bradley versus Frimpong. I think that's going to be an interesting one. But we'll need to see a couple of games first to see who slot trusts more there.
I do think Liverpool need to sign a centre back. I do think they need to sign a centre back. I think Konate is just not as consistent in game time as the rest of the team. I think we need someone to cover him. And even Joe Gomez hasn't been the most consistent with his
Because on the treatment table often,
yeah.
his
So
fitness, and I think that's the issue. But I think if they go with the current three that they have and Endo is filling in there, I think they'll be fine. Because Van Dijk, and he plays the whole season pretty much. So it's just rotating on the other side of him, to be honest, because he plays every game.
so on the topic of transfers and business, we'll speak about Liverpool first, but let's speak about transfers in general. Do you think who do you think's done the best in this transfer window? Do you think Liverpool have done the best?
I think so. I think they've got they've filled very important roles in their team that needed filling. So the number nine Ekitike, I think he's great. They needed a right back. They went for Frimpong. The nice thing with him, he can play cover for Salah and he can cover for
Mm.
Bradley. So on that right side, he does and inverts. I mean, I think he might be phenomenal. People are not expecting. I mean, and people have been watching in preseason saying he's not been that great, but I think he's going to be one. I think he's going to blow everyone's minds at some point in time in the season. So I
His
think
shirt
important
sales have been insane
important
as well.
roles. Hmm?
Versus shirt sales have been insane since the Adidas
Yeah,
people launched. So I think people are feeling it, and you can just see he can do everything, and he's so versatile,
yeah.
and the proper star. And Liverpool have really shown proper keenness to stay at the top with the
Mm,
business that they've done this season, and they mean business, you know.
yeah. And Chelsea have done decent business as well.
Chelsea have done
Obviously it's a
good
lot of
business.
business.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of business most of the time, so you don't know the settling of the squad. But I think if they get one or two players out of that squad, maybe they might be decent. I think at centre back, I still feel they're a little bit light. They could get better quality
yeah.
in there, but I think all over that squad is got a lot of quality in it. Man United are doing decent business, but I mean we
I
obviously
think
don't know which
yeah.
version of Man United we'll get.
I think apart from
I think Cunha,
Verts,
Mbemo,
mm,
and
apart from Verts, I
what's his
think
name?
Cunha.
Cisco now.
Mm,
Yeah.
I think apart from Verts, I think Cunha is probably the second most anticipated player I want to see because
Mm.
he can actually come back and we've been seeing him in preseason. He comes back, wins the ball, takes it forward, playing on the left wing. But he's just an all-round player.
Yeah,
He's
he works hard.
yeah,
He'll give you defense from the front and he'll give you goals from the front. So he offers everything, which is quite amazing.
so
I think a team that is going under the radar and doing decent business, I think Everton. I
yeah,
think Everton have been linked with a couple of decent players. I think their squad will be better than last season and might have better structure. So I think they'll go under the radar from their performances. Villa, actually, I haven't seen Villa. I don't remember Villa doing much business, which
nothing.
I felt they probably needed
Mm,
to because I mean they lost Rashford and Asensio again this season. So who are they going to replace those Oaks with? So I'm a little bit concerned about. Forest haven't really done much. I'm just going through teams in my head that I think I might specifically look at. Forest, very no-name players from Botafogo and stuff from
yeah.
like Brazil they brought in. Um,
What
I
about
don't know. That's
Arsenal?
that's the only ones.
Zubamendi, Madweki.
I think okay. I mean, Gyökeres I think was what
Depth,
always
depth.
concerned me about a player like him is why didn't so many other big clubs go for him if he was that good?
Yeah,
That always worries me. I think he'll be good for them. I think he's a proper number nine. I think he'll get some goals, but I don't know if he's going to be as explosive as people think that he might personally. So I mean, it'll be good to see, I guess, Arsenal with a proper striker and then see if they can reach those heights that they've been aiming to reach, I guess, over the past few seasons. But like Zubimendi, I think it's a great buy for their midfield, but I feel like they still just lack a proper six in that squad. just to balance them out a little bit. Because now Partey is gone to jail / Villarreal, so it's hard to know what's going to be happening there. I mean, but it is decent business, I think. Madueke, I think, is just there for cover, to be honest, or maybe hopefully to play off the left, because Arsenal's biggest issue is one, keeping Saka fit, and secondly, finding someone to play on the other flank that can actually make a difference.
Yeah.
But the biggest issue probably was that number 9 position and having an out and
I think so, yeah.
striker. So I think that they've got that covered. If he performs and he does well, then we can talk this season about Arsenal a little bit, maybe.
I'd like to see who's going to be the three that sits in midfield. I assume it's going to be Odegaard, Zubimendi, and Rice, probably their main three. But I want to see if they do mix that up very different. I feel it still lacks a little bit of power. But I mean, I think with Odegaard's work rate and I guess Zubimendi's work rate, they'll be very solid. I think Arsenal will be very solid, which they just need to ensure that they can get goals in those difficult games where if Saka is not on it, someone needs to then come up to the party, and that's where they've struggled over the past few seasons when he's not been on it. They find it hard to get goals.
In terms of preseason, have you guys watched anything? Are you guys impressed with anybody in specific, or it's kind of all just looking at players getting fit at the moment? Not really.
I haven't read much into it personally. I've just been watching a random game here and there. So I mean, Son Heung-min announced he's leaving Spurs, so that's the only thing that I've been pretty much following over the past few days. So that's been of interest. I've been watching the Spurs games here and they're just watching highlights more than anything else because the games are reasonably slow, I guess. So spending a lot of time on there hasn't been great. And I mean, to be honest, you can't really read much into it because there's so many substitutions and stuff that do happen in these games that it's not actually even worth paying attention to all the time. It's just nice to see. I guess maybe this week or this weekend will be the last games that they probably have before the Premier League starts, right? So
the Community Shield is this weekend, 10th of
so this will probably give us a more better indication of which players are more likely to start for the teams. So I think it'll be cool. So is it Liverpool Newcastle then this weekend?
Palace.
Newcastle Palace.
Sorry,
I mean Liverpool
Palace.
Palace.
I think Newcastle won. Sorry, Newcastle won the Carabao Cup. Yes.
Liverpool Newcastle will be a very heated game at this moment.
Yeah. It would have been great, man. Honestly, it would have been so much fun.
Manchester United won the Premier League Summer Series. I don't know if you guys followed that. But I did. The timings were a bit late and stuff, but I mean that's usually quite cool to watch because it's got the Premier League graphics and the Premier League feel and stuff like that. But yeah, at least United got their Premier League award because I don't think they're going to be anywhere close to winning the Premier League title this season.
You never know, eh?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but I also don't think their plan is to win. I think they're starting a proper rebuild now with this coach, so I think they're going to try and put a pace. I mean, Amorim's got no excuse now. Probably does have an excuse because they've invested money, but I mean, I feel like they could have done better. But he'll probably get in the 10 to 15 games now. He'll probably have to justify all of that nonsense that happened last season. Because I mean, last season he always said it's not my players, it's not my players. Now when he's got players that I would hope that he's also approved, he can show a little bit of a difference. Because it's going to be rough for them. I mean, they're still attracting a lot of players, but I mean, they've got one game a week now. They've got to really make it count. No Europe, so there should be no excuses for Man United this season.
So speaking about incoming players, let's play our game, okay? So we're going to be playing Crowd Reaction. Crowd Reaction is a game where you guys have to predict the crowd reaction to certain players playing at certain stadiums. So it's either going to be one of three. The crowd's either going to be cheering or applauding, booing, or no response. So we can start off with let's say what crowd reaction to João Palhinha when he plays at Craven Cottage.
I think they'll applaud.
Tricky. I don't know. He might get a bit of booze initially in that first one.
He didn't leave on bad terms though.
He
didn't leave on bad terms.
He stopped training until he.
Did he stop training to go to Bayern?
Yeah, I think it's a boo.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to think because he didn't get the move in Jan, so he ended up moving at the end of the season.
Yeah, but
That's a rough one.
He was ousted for a little while. Next player, Aaron Ramsdale at the Emirates Stadium. What do you think that'll be?
No, they'll cheer him obviously.
He'll get a cheer. He'll definitely get
a cheer, guaranteed.
Okay.
Because they'll be happy they're not getting relegated with him in the squad.
Okay, what about Granit Xhaka back at the Emirates?
That's a tough one because there was bad terms, but when he left, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I still say that they're gonna boo him.
They probably will, yeah.
When you move to like a club that's not as big, then usually people don't really mind. It's when you leave a club close to your heart for something better, that's when people get offended. And I just wish you could throw Isak at St. James's Park in, but it might be a little bit too soon for that. But I
Yeah,
can
it might
feel it
be.
happening soon, and I really
No,
hope it happens.
that'll definitely have booze
That
if
would
that were
be
to
a
happen,
lovely
without a
boo. It
doubt.
would be a lovely boo.
But what about the other way? What about a player that rejected Newcastle? What about Hugo Ekitike at St. James Park? What's the crowd reaction there?
I think it's going to
Hugo
depend a
Ekitike.
lot on who's leading the line for Newcastle in that game.
Yeah, I honestly don't think there'll be a reaction though.
I think they'll boo him, personally.
I don't think they will, because they've got no relationship to him, right?
Still,
So I don't
he
think they
reject.
will.
What about? Because I also have Zubimendi. What about Zubimendi at Anfield? I have a feeling he's
Nah,
just
I
Oh,
getting
don't think
booed.
proper
I
laugh.
don't
We'll
think
have
that
a proper laugh at him.
I don't think the Liverpool players, the fans care about it, to be honest.
No, it'll be similar to like Caicedo when he played against us, and who was the other one? Those two Chelsea lads when they
Yeah.
played against us.
But the
in London.
Caicedo and Lavia one was like rough.
Lavia.
Like that one was like agreed. They said they were coming.
Yeah.
Zubimendi never said he's coming.
No, but he literally said he doesn't want to leave his club, and he
Yeah.
just changed his mind last minute. It was a bit of a big thing, but I think because we did so well and we got our replacements and all of that, it got forgotten a little bit. But yeah.
And that's why I think because it's been forgotten, that's why I think it'll be irrelevant.
And this one, yeah, Razine, more targeted at you. Jordan Henderson at Anfield. What do you think the reaction is there?
Oh, he gets a proper
Cheers,
cheer.
man.
He's a
They'll celebrate
Premier
that
League
guy, man.
captain.
Captain, yeah.
I love him. I think he's the guy.
I do
Who
get
did
a
he sign
feeling
for now? I can't remember.
Brentford,
Brentford.
but I can't find him on the FPL app. Just to see his price, I can't even find
Did
him.
you search his name?
No. But I went to
Did you go to
Brentford.
Brentford?
I went to Brentford.
And he's not there.
He's not there. But even I couldn't find some of City's new players as well. So I'm really struggling with the new layout.
The search on this app is broken, I'm convinced. I was trying to use that search section and I just couldn't find the players I wanted.
What do you think
I
about?
auto-picked. I haven't looked at player prices yet, so I don't even know who's priced where. But yeah, looking
Oh,
forward to
Henderson, I
getting
found him now. Here's he.
How much?
5
What's the
million.
price? 5 million.
5 million, yeah.
I think he'll get a. Hopefully he gets a cheer. I hope he gets a cheer.
Who's
He
the
was,
coach?
definitely
Who's the
was,
coach
definitely
at Brentford? I never seen who
No
they
idea.
replaced Frank with.
No idea.
Not sure.
I'm sticking away a bit from Brentford players until I can see how they play.
You can't really trust them, right? But they've got this continuity thing that they built. Even there was a previous coach before Frank. I can't remember who the coach was that Frank took over from, where they just promote the current staff. So one of the coaches that came with Frank to Spurs was actually the guy that was supposed to take over at the Brentford job, but he didn't want the job and he came to be a coach at Spurs instead. So they have this continuity thing where they promote within the group, and I mean it's been working for them. Their model's been working quite well for them. So I don't expect much to change, to be honest.
And last one, what about Kelleher back at Anfield?
I think he'll get a cheer.
Big
I think he'll
cheers.
get a cheer. Yeah. He was always there when they needed him.
Yeah, I also think so. I think his time at the club was set out by the club when they signed another first.
Yes, another first team goalkeeper.
Another first team goalkeeper. So he
Say
was
his
kind of-
name. You want to try.
Sorry?
I know you want to try saying our new goalkeeper's name, so give it a go.
No, I'm okay.
Who, Mamadashvili?
Mamash.
I can't
What a
pronounce
guy,
it.
man. He's a bit
Nailed
crazy,
it.
that all. He's a bit crazy. So we'll see. I watched a decent amount of La Liga most times. So he's going to be entertaining. I just want to know what's going to happen with Alisson. The fact that they're signing a replacement and like a proper number one, I suspect he's probably like if he leaves at the end of the season, I won't be surprised.
No, I think this guy will be number 2 until Alisson's got nothing left.
Yeah, no,
I
and I
think
feel like
he's very
Alisson's
good plan.
it's future planning, proper future
Yeah.
planning.
Because he's really young. Alisson's getting old, so it works out well.
But I don't
I have
know.
one more to add to your list, though.
Yeah, go for it.
When Manchester City come to Anfield and the two Peps walk out of the tunnel next to each other, what will the reaction be to their new assistant manager?
That's going to be a rough. I think they should boo him.
I have no idea.
I think they should boo Pep Blinders. I really think they should.
It's too difficult. He did so much for us.
No, he didn't do so much for you. They started getting worse since he took over. The club era started
I
fading because of him.
completely disagree.
I straight out blame that man.
He's
the club
a
era
genius.
fading.
The way he speaks, the way he thinks, I just
think he's
love listening
overrated.
to him.
He
And
couldn't
was
manage in
primed.
Germany.
Klopp primed him
Couldn't
to be
manage
our
in
next
Germany.
manager, and we told him to go. And okay, it didn't work out for him in Germany. Fair, but
It never not worked out. It was horrendous.
he's
It
a
was
very good
absolutely
assistant
horrendous.
manager.
I don't think so. I think the club era started fading since once he joined.
There's two Peps at City, guys. I am a bit worried. I'm not gonna.
No, I don't think anything to be worried about. I think Pep's just preparing for his exit. I expect him to leave at the end of the season. I'm convinced he's going into the season.
Then the other Pep will take over at City, maybe.
Possible. That is possible. That is very possible.
I can't see City going for for anyone but a high-profile manager.
Yes, I agree. I
Yeah,
think so
No,
too.
fair.
I
Totally agree
I
with
think
you.
it takes a certain person to be a first team manager and like be
What
to be a
about
head manager.
Vincent Company taking over after
I,
Pep?
I think can work. I think Vincent Company
I
can work.
also think so. Or Zidane
Or
after
Zidane.
back out of retirement.
I don't know. I don't know who else is out there, but I wouldn't like I'd have more chance of seeing Mourinho there than Pep Linders.
Yeah, agreed. I honestly
Fair,
don't.
makes sense.
Yeah, he doesn't have the pedigree for it at the moment. Company can always say I won the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
But
Shame, Bayern are fading as a club as well. Shame,
yeah,
very sad to watch their downfall.
but I mean they still got some world class
They
players.
still win, but so you know when Newcastle's probably been one of the most rejected clubs.
Yeah.
Shame, your brother must be like in a lot of pain these past few weeks.
Oof. He doesn't
But
speak to me
so they've been
anymore.
one of the most rejected clubs.
Until so we have a rule that we have a family league, and whoever comes first in the family league, the bottom three, basically the last person pays like 50%, the person pays like 35, and then 15%. Like it's a stepwards down ladder.
Yeah.
So whoever finishes last, it's you in for more money, but you have to buy the winner the new kit for the year. So the Liverpool kit.
Oh.
My brother says he won't buy me the kit. He'll transfer me the money, but I have to go pick it up. On my
Okay,
own.
so as soon as he transfers you, buy a shirt with Isak
Should
on it.
Isak at the back? Yeah, I was just say the same thing. That would be so wild.
I can't do that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't recommend it
Yeah,
either.
for my safety.
For your safety.
For my safety. Yeah.
You know, your brother's also a medical professional. He's good with a knife in hand.
I don't know who I'll put actually at the back of my. I'll probably put Salah, just because
It's gonna be
Salah.
Birds, no?
No, I'll put Salah.
Salah for his last season. Salah for his last season at Anfield.
It's not his last season.
Salah for his last season at Anfield, then he leaves for a fee. He does the
2
anti-trend.
more years.
Yeah.
2 more
He
years.
leaves for money.
He's gonna sign another contract.
If I'll be
I would
very,
hope so.
I'll be very upset if he leaves at the end of this season, and we sell Harvey Elliott at the start of the season.
That would be a huge gutter.
Yeah, because I feel like if they're planning to sell him, then they must just keep Harvey Elliott, even if they loan him out for the season.
You know the reaction after that last
You
game.
can't replace Salah with Harvey Elliott, guys. Let's be serious. Let's be
No,
serious.
he
I
was
understand he
great.
come through the academy,
No, he was great
but
for
we must be
that
serious.
was
We
it
must
under
be
19
serious. There's
World Cup,
world
under
class, and
21?
then there's good footballers.
I-
Harvey Elliott
but
is
it's
nowhere
still-
near world. Salah is world
At
class.
home, I mean, he deserves a place in the team. Even as a rotation player, he shouldn't leave.
He is a rotation player, but he must leave to play consistent football if he wants to. Well, I mean, how old is he now? Like 23, 24?
I have no idea.
I think he
Or
needs
more?
to give himself another year or two to really try and break into that squad.
He
And I
won't.
really don't want him
They'll
to
just
go.
sign someone else. They'll sign someone else. He's not good enough for to have a starting spot in that Liverpool 11.
Did you guys see Rio Ngumoha?
Yeah.
Who?
Rio Ngumoha, what a
That guy is
player.
fire. He's ridiculous. He's so good.
Cody
He's
Gakpo's
so
place is
good.
on the line because of how good that guy is,
Yeah,
guys.
another
Wow.
kid is another level. He's another level. I hope they don't loan him out.
Yeah, because
He
must
with
play.
us selling Diaz, like he will have minutes in him if they want him to play.
I suspect they're either gonna do Isak or Rodrigo. Because to be honest, before all the Isak business became everything, Liverpool were linked to Rodrigo. So I wonder if
Yeah.
Liverpool go in and find a replacement because they need attacking depth. Which I mean, as much as this kid's good, I mean, you still want like proper Champions League level attacking depth in your squad.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if we don't get Isak and we sell Nunes, which is like there's been a fee agreed, but Nunes needs to decide if he wants to go. I kind of hope he doesn't go. I don't know why. I just like Nunes.
He must go.
He must go, but
The right move would have been Nunes to Nunes plus what someone said Nunes plus 75 million for
Isak.
Isak.
that would have been ideal for both
Worth
clubs.
it. Great deal.
Yeah.
Great deal.
But if we don't get Isak and we sell Nunes, then we kind of stuck.
Because Nunes will remind me of Andy Carroll version 2.
Yeah.
Just like that vibe. He's just got an Andy Carroll vibe about him. Not as big,
Nunes
obviously.
is
But
gone, guys. It's literally done today, I think.
yeah,
It's looking
I feel like he's agreed. Yeah,
a good 50, 55 million, I think we're looking at plus
solid.
add-ons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great deal.
But yeah, I think you need to put like a moment's silence on the 20-minute mark for Diogo Jota. We haven't spoke about it, and very, very
very sad
emotional.
one.
And I think
Yeah.
it was very raw initially when it happened, but I think now it's come to a moment and a point where we can really celebrate the person that he was, the player that he was, what he's done for us, whoever our number 20.
Yeah, it's been it was very heartbreaking. I actually watched the trophy, like when we won the league, Liverpool posted a YouTube video. Basically, all our players, the goals, very lighthearted, and Like he's one of the first players you see on the video, not because of what had happened, but it was just how they made the video. So
Yeah.
it was quite like surreal to see that again. But just in that, I think what we saw from the football community in that time was also very, very nice. It just showed that there's a lot more than football, and life is quite precious. And
Yeah.
the way he was celebrated through everyone was appropriate to see, and we were very relieved that that he got that, because he definitely deserved that.
Agreed.
100%.
Okay, we're gonna leave it at that for our first preseason episode, and hopefully we'll catch up with you guys soon again, and we'll
Yes.
hopefully have more
Next week we're getting all ready
FPL
for
knowledge.
predictions. We're getting ready for predictions and actual FPL content.
Actual FPL content. Yeah, Razine, we gotta maybe plan ahead of more Razine this year.
I have to plan ahead of both of you guys this season, because last season was just a shocker. I mean, I was looking back on it, thinking about it, and I don't know what happened. I still haven't figured out quite what happened, how I took
We're
that
too
step.
busy watching Liverpool win the league. Too busy watching Liverpool win the league. That's why you're distracted by the actual football. So
It was a
you
good
got a great
distraction. I mean,
excuse.
it was kind of cool
Yeah.
that I came last in our league, but my new team name is Champions because of Liverpool, thankfully. And yeah, ready to
100%.
go,
So the
guys.
aim is to
A
put
week to go.
champions last this season again. We're going to put champions at the bottom of the table. That's the plan.
Okay, take care, guys.